Hi everybody, welcome back to Banished. We're back in Sipsburgh. Look, there's some deer crossing the raging river somehow. I don't know how they're managing to do that. They're also tramping through the graveyard. I don't think Old Gravy's going to be too happy about that either. We're back. We're in year 8, late autumn. We have 36 people, 3 students, and 9 babies. I mean, I say 36 people. The 3 students and the 9 babies count as people as well. But they just have different titles, students and babies, and then 36 grown-ass men and women, and a child named Eric, who was just born as well in late autumn 8. A child named Eric was born. Great. Okay. So things are going pretty well. We've got a lot of fishing action happening in Sipsburgh. We have the Wooden Gate Bridge. We also have most of the stuff that we need in terms of foresters, gatherers, hunters, all the kind of servicey stuff. We don't want our population to explode too quickly, just in case we run out of food, which doesn't seem to be likely to happen anytime soon, considering we have like 6,470 pieces of food stockpiled right now, which is great. We got some herbs stockpiled, we got coats, we got tools, we got all sorts of shit. It's great. Things are really on the up. We have a spare laborer and some builders who are idling at the moment, doing nothing, but it looks like all the jobs are filled, and the reserve of logs is full. I mean, we could probably do with getting another forester, and then sort of staffing that and getting them to... I wonder if we could just... some people are saying don't bother having them replant trees, just get them to sort of clear cut. Maybe we can have one dedicated solely to cutting, and then another one right next to it dedicated solely to planting. With that, I mean, I guess it's just the same thing as having 2 of them possibly just doing both, but maybe from an organizational point of view, it seems like maybe it might work a bit better somehow. Let's try it. We got nothing to lose. We're going to try it out. We're going to build yet another forester right next to this one. Look, it's like rival foresting gangs. And you can tell which one is which by the wood cutting axes that they use. The blue gang confusingly use red wood cutting axes, and of course the red gang also use red wood cutting axes, and everybody gets very angry because that's dumb as hell. So there you go. We're also going to get these laborers on the case here to collect some of the stray stone. Look, there's just a lot of stones in the vicinity of the Forester's Lodge which need to be picked up, because unfortunately what's going to happen is the foresters are going to waste all of their precious time collecting stones instead of felling trees and replanting new trees and tending to the aged trees and helping them pass on into tree heaven slowly and gracefully. But I mean, in saying that, none of that will happen because, like I said, these guys seem to have some sort of fetish with stone collecting, and will spend most of their time doing that. Oh, look at that. We've got another child named Shastasia. Shastasia has been born. I'm very curious to know where has Shastasia been born and to whom. Hopefully it is... Oh, look, Eric, the child of Hilbur and Shami Kalin. Look at that, it's Eric. He's born. He's one. And I cannot find... We're never going to... Oh, there, look. Just as I say it, Shastasia, the 0-year-old child born to Ralpha and Emberly, the 37-year-old fisherman couple. The romantic story of those two meeting whilst working on the docks and doing the Lady and the Tramp technique while both eating a raw fish and then eating it and then touching lips and kissing by accident whilst eating a gigantic raw sea bass. Quite unlike Lady and the Tramp with the spaghetti thing, the piece of pasta and the slurping and then the kissing. This one was probably a lot more grotesque, actually. How's this coming along? We've got all the materials that we need. It looks like we just need some builders. Now, we have builders, and we have 1 laborer, and it looks like we've got 3 up-and-coming laborers coming out of the Sipsburgh education system. Look at that. 3 students who are at work. They are working very hard, and that's good. This is almost done. So this one's the cutter, and once this one's done, this will be the planter. There we go. We're going to turn cutting off, and we're going to have these guys just plant. All they're going to do is plant. We're going to take these 2 builders off of the rotation, and we're going to get them into the wild and crazy trade of foresting. Wow, we now have 11 foresters. So we should have a steady stockpile of logs coming in. I suppose another thing we could do, and something that people have been mentioning quite often, is sort of connect all this up with roads. These people are more likely to sort of take a road back to town. And to me, that seems like it makes sense. We're going to make this like cool L-shaped road here. And then we're just going to have it sort of like lead off like that. Do we want it like that? No, I didn't really want it like that. I want it to come down straight this way. And then exit the forest here. Look at that. There's going to be a whole bunch of fresh trees to be cut down. Is that? Oh, that just fits. Look at that. It goes right alongside the... Oh, no, it doesn't. Damn it. Okay, we're going to have it come down like this. And then, oh, look, this is even better. This is even better. It's going to come straight through this field, straight into town, and make this intersection right in front of the well. Perfecto. And these people in Sipsburgh are going to be loving this. Look, there's a nice road that leads out into the creepy forest where all of the rival foresting gangs work, and then this creepy witch hut, the herbalist. Oh, this is fantastic. This is exactly what we need. Of course, we have no builders at the moment. We could probably afford to take 2 fishermen off the task of fishing, since we just seem to have an abundance of fish. There's another child named Valinda born as well. Look at this. Look at how crazy things are now. Things go very quickly now. I'm playing in 5 times speed still, which I think is pretty necessary at this point in the game. Because once you sort of get the hang of the game and you start to know how things work, and I mean, I'm not saying I know how everything works, but I have some basic understanding of like the mechanics of the game. I think 5 times speed is a fairly comfortable one. Things get done a lot quicker. You don't have to wait around too long and stuff. I may have made these builders for no reason, although I think once these trees are cleared, there'll be some tasks for builders to come in and actually build this road. Look, they're all busy. See, there's still a couple of trees in the way here. Once they're gone, and I think the builders are going to have to come in and build that road. Great. Okay. Another thing that we could probably think about doing before long is having a market. We're going to have a market in order to, not a trading post, we want a market. Look at that. It's going to cost us 58 logs, which we don't have, 62 stone, which we do have, and 40 iron, which we don't have. A market is a central place for everybody to come and get stuff from. And by stuff, I mean they'll come here to get their tools, they'll come here to get their food. The market will distribute fair amounts of food rather than people just like raiding the stockyard or the barn and taking 500 fish for themselves, only for it all to go bad because there's no way to actually store the fish. My God, look at that. Another child named Anthony was born. We now have 13 children bringing up or spearheading the next generation of Sipsburgians. I almost said Sixburgians. It's actually Sipsburgians. Okay, let's do it. The road is now being built, it looks like. I don't know if we needed those builders, but we certainly will need builders for this market, which we're going to place right here. And I think it's going to have access to pretty much all of the houses in Sipsburgh if I place it here. And we're going to make sure that houses are built within like this radius as well, so that everybody can make the most of this market. Bam! Fucking great. Look at that. Holy shit. Really close to the spooky graveyard as well, where people tend to hang out a lot. There's going to be more houses built along here. We've got some more room for fields and stuff up here if we need them, which is good. We now have, we now require 6 builders because this market is just going to be so huge. And we can do with getting some iron and stuff as well. Holy shit, that rain is so fucking loud. It's quite nice though. I mean, it has a calming effect. I feel better when it is raining because of the sound of water. Also, makes me need to go to the bathroom most of the time as well. But it's fine. I can hold it. I'll hold it because I'm so dedicated to making sure that Sipsburgh is a rip-roaring success. Okay, so that is a lot of work set out for the people of Sipsburgh. Anthony has been born, like we said. We have a market placed now. Looks like our road out into the wilderness is complete. Look at all these people, the Wicked Witch of the Forest and the rival foresting gangs can both use this road to get out there and travel a lot faster. We can upgrade the road later. It's only a dirt road now, but we can make it like a cobblestone road or something later on. Should be kind of cool, I guess. We're going to need some iron before long. We could probably do with getting a quarry before long, as soon as we get a few more laborers. And, of course, just as many logs as we can get. We seem to be just like plowing through them. But most of them are being used to make this market. And then once it's made, hopefully it'll go back to making firewood. I'm storing a lot of firewood because later on, the bigger population you get, they start chewing through firewood like it's nobody's business. So I like to have a big stockpile just in case, because there's nothing worse than hitting winter, having no firewood, and then people complaining that they're cold. I mean, people don't tend to die too much on my watch because, I mean, you know, of course I'm so pro at video games in general. But it has been known to happen that they do complain. And if there's one thing I hate more than people dying on my watch, is people complaining on my watch. That I will not stand for. So I will do everything that I can to make sure that they have nothing to complain about. Let's also extend this road. Look down here like this. We're gonna like connect it. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. We are very close now to being in a position where we can make a trader and hopefully lure some traders in to drop off some livestock or trade some livestock with us. We can trade some of our fine garments that we've been manufacturing in Sipsburgh. We can trade some of these tools, and actually there is a way of making better tools than the tools that we're making in the blacksmith here. See, look, we can make iron tools, but we can also make steel tools, which trade for more. So we can get cows, chickens, and I think there's like camels in this game. You can maybe even get reindeer. I mean, we can have a reindeer farm. I'm not sure if it's actually morally sound to eat reindeer. And of course, if you live in a European country where reindeer is a delicacy and you eat it like all the time and that's offended you, I am, of course, very sorry. But for me, I see reindeer pulling Santa's sleigh in books and stuff like that, and I just think, how could you eat a reindeer? It doesn't seem right somehow. Same with horses as well, you know? And dogs. You shouldn't eat dogs or cats or horses or dolphins for that matter. I mean, dolphins like save people from time to time when they're shipwrecked. I don't think you should eat dolphins either. But I mean, again, that's just my personal opinion, and take it however you like, sort of thing. But I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to offend you and your reindeer eating ways. I'm just saying, it seems a shame to have to eat a reindeer when they do so much for us, i.e. deliver presents to us on Santa's sleigh, which is, of course, something that happens every year. Okay, let's build another house, too. Did I want to do that? I suppose I did, actually. It's good to have a lot of building tasks, especially in the winter when people are starting to get cold. If they run out of firewood, a good sort of bout of manual labor will keep the juices flowing for them, keep them nice and warm, and give them something to think about and look forward to and do as well. Holy shit, look at that. Philo has become a student. Mile has become an adult, and we've just assigned him to the building brigade. Talonzo has become a student, and a child named Chrissy was born. Look at this. Our population is booming, and we still have tons and tons of food stockpiled and firewood. And it looks like we're actually getting a small amount of wooden logs stored as well, which is fantastic. Don't ask me why I just said wooden logs. There are no other kind of logs. It just sounds better calling them wooden logs than just logs. I mean, I could have been referring to Yule logs on the topic of Christmas and reindeers. And why the hell would you want to store a bunch of Yule logs unless you were just having like a really big ass party and it was Christmas themed and there was just a lot of people furiously demanding Yule logs to be served, I guess. I don't know. Freem has become a student. We've got this market, which is 70% complete. Wow, I can't believe it. I can't believe we're going to have a market soon. That's very good news. How are we doing, like, out here and stuff? How are these gatherers doing? What have you guys been gathering? Whoa. Okay, they have been gathering lots of mushrooms, berries, onions, and roots, which is great. Thanks for watching part 11 of Banished. Stay tuned for part 12, where we'll finish off the market and do a bunch of other cool shit. See you soon!